All right, 4:33. The National Transportation Safety Board launches its first full day of investigating into El Faro's disappearance today. The Coast Guard, in its separate investigation, says it believes El Faro sank when it got caught in Hurricane Joaquin last week. NTSB investigators arrived in Jacksonville, Florida yesterday to look into how and why the ship sank. They expect to be there for 7 to 10 days. They say the key is finding the voyage data recorder that was on board the ship. And this recorder collects information from various sensors, and the ship gives information on what happened 12 hours before the ship went down. This is a little different than what the Coast Guard is doing in its investigation, focusing primarily on finding survivors, working through the night, in fact, to try and do that.
So obviously this is a huge challenge, that there's a large debris field. So the investigators will be, we hope, finding as much materials as possible. But it's a big challenge when there's such a large area of water and at such depths.
Now, the NTSB says it will also be looking at all factors that went into the decision to set sail that day. One of the major questions about this decision to travel involves Tote, the company owning the ship. Who makes the decision? Tote previously said that it was the captain's decision, but during a press conference on Monday, they said the company did have the power to override the captain's decision or to modify or delay the trip. Tote says it will cooperate fully with the ongoing investigation. Meantime, the mothers of 2 main crew members on El Faro say they're not questioning the decision of Captain Michael Davidson to set sail. Deb Roberts and Lori Bobbio say they are still focused on the search for survivors, but with the investigation now underway, they say they don't blame the captain for what happened.
I have absolutely no interest in negative energy, have no interest in looking at blame. I have interest in finding my son and the rest of the crew alive, and the only thing that I blame in this is Hurricane Joaquin.
Lori Bobbio says this is not the first time she was concerned for her daughter out at sea. Danielle would email her often about heading into storms or rough seas. She says Danielle knew there were risks that came with the job. Now, all 4 of the Mainers on board El Faro, again, are graduates of the Maine Maritime Academy. The captain from Wyndham, Michael Davidson, Michael Holland from Wilton, Danielle Randolph, and Dylan Mecklin from Rockland. Hundreds gathered on the campus in Castine last night for a vigil, holding out hope the 4 Mainers would be found. They say they have a fighting attitude toward the sea and always remember the basics of their training.
In this day and age, with better safety standards and better ships, and I think that that's just part of the nature of being a student and being a mariner, is that you like a challenge. Just holding out hope, and maybe there'll be a good end to this story.
And students say they're finding strength in numbers and trying to remain positive.